For more updates, subscribe to our channel.
We'll see the next question. These are all expected questions only. 21st question. A 150 volt DC motor is given. A 150 volt DC motor of a armature resistance is 0.4 ohms, has back EMF of 142 volts. What about the armature current? So you know that this is our equivalent circuit of DC motor. Here the voltage is given 150 volts DC motor, means here the terminal voltage is given 150 volts terminal voltage is given, but armature resistance 0.4 ohms is given, but back EMF is given, that is the back EMF is 142 volts. For this DC motor, we know that relation EB is equal to Vt minus Ia into Ra. This is our back EMF equation of the DC motor. The back EMF is equal to 142 volts and the terminal voltage of DC motor is 150 volts minus armature current we have to calculate, we don't know that, and armature resistance is given 0.4 is given, right? So from this relation you can calculate armature current into 0.4 is equal to 150 minus 142, so we will get here 8, and armature current is equal to 8 by 0.4 means, so we will get 20 amperes. Okay, we get the 20 amperes. Check out the answers. 10 amperes is not right, 150 amperes, 100 amperes. The option is B. Okay, for a DC motor, this is a important formula. Back EMF is equal to Vt minus Ia into Ra. We will see that the next question, 22. Which of the following tests can be used to determine the no load losses? To determine the no load losses in a DC shunt motor. Which of the following tests can be used to determine the no load losses in a DC shunt motor? For only shunt motor, sir, but ఇక్కడ options are given. The running down test, the running down test can be found, can be measured. Temperature rises, it can't measure no load losses. And Swinburne's test for DC shunt motor, it can measure no load test. It is a no load test, it can measure no load losses. But Field's test means it requires 2 series machines కావాలి మనకు. So 2 series machines కావాలి కాబట్టి option is not, okay, it is not correct the option. And brake test is it is a load test. It is a load test. This test is also not suitable for. So this is also not suitable. So only the on no load condition Swinburne test can be used to measure the no load losses or constant losses. Okay, option B is right. Option B is right. And next 23rd question, the volt ampere equation. The volt ampere equation for a long shunt DC compound motor is given by. For long shunt DC compound motor, what is the equation? So just draw the long shunt DC compound motor. This is our armature, right? And one field winding is connected in series. This total combination is connected across the parallel winding and given to the, so here the electrical supply is there, that is terminal voltage positive and negative. The current is flowing here. Here this is a series field resistance, means here the ISE current is flowing, and this one is the armature resistance and back EMF. Here the armature current is also flowing, and this one is the armature resistance and back EMF. Here the field resistance RF and current is flowing, that is the field current. This is our long shunt DC compound motor. So for this we have to write the only voltage equations, means this is the loop only. You consider only this part only. No need to consider the field winding. Only we have to consider this part. We have to write the terminal voltage equation. So it is a closed path. Apply the KVL technique. So minus VT is equal to what happened? Plus minus VT plus IAC into RACE, and also plus IA into RA plus back EMF equal to 0. This is our KVL equation up to this part. Now we want to calculate terminal voltage is equal to IAC RACE plus IA into RA plus back EMF. So finally VT is equal to EB plus here these two currents are same, series field current to armature current is same, but here we have to take the common, so RA plus RACA. So this is our answer. You can check out 4 options. VT is equal to EB plus RA, wrong option, and VT is equal to EB plus IA into RA plus RAC. This is the right answer. The remaining 2 are not correct. Okay, like that you can simplify. Next we will see the 24th question. If the applied voltage to a DC machine is 230 volts, it is a DC motor, you remember. Applied voltage to a DC machine means DC motor. Then the back EMF for maximum power developed. So in DC motor, condition for maximum power, what is the condition for maximum power? Back EMF is equal to half of the supply voltage, half of the applied voltage. So back EMF is equal to half of the applied voltage, but applied voltage is how much? 230 divided by 2, so we will get 115 volts. Okay, we get the 115 volts. Check out the answers. A is 115 volts, exactly right. So B is not suitable, C is also, D is also not. But condition for maximum power in DC motor, EB is equal to VT by 2. This is the answer. Very simple. So these are the questions expected for ESET examination, coming ESET. 100% these questions will come in the ESET examination. But remember, you practice whatever I am telling this, right? So that 25th question you see. If speed of a DC shunt motor is increased above its rated speed, then its counter EMF. The counter EMF is called as back EMF. Counter EMF is also called as back EMF. If the speed of a DC shunt motor is increases, so what about the back EMF? So we need that the speed is directly proportional to the back EMF and inversely proportional to the flux. This is our speed equation of DC shunt motor. If the speed is decreases, means the voltage, the back EMF is also increases. Directly proportional. If the speed is increases, back EMF is also increases. But ikkada emostundi manaku increases. The answer is increases. If the speed is increases, back EMF is increases, or counter EMF is also increases. It is also called as counter EMF. So the remaining are wrong answers. Okay, by using this relation. Now we will see the next question, 26th. The function of a DC motor starter. The function of a DC motor starter. The function of starter: to start the DC motor, limit the starting current, increase the starting current, and option D, avoid dips in the supply voltage. S, starter to start the DC motor. Okay, increase the starting torque. So we can exactly we can pick out the answer. ఫంక్షన్ ఆఫ్ స్టార్టర్ ఇన్ DC మోటార్. స్టార్టర్ని ఎందుకు యూజ్ చేయాలి అంటే స్టార్టింగ్ కరెంట్ని తగ్గించాలి ఫస్ట్. ఎందుకంటే రిలేషన్ ఏంది మనకు ఎట్ నో లోడ్లో రిలేషన్ ఏంటంటే స్టార్టింగ్ కరెంట్ని తగ్గించాలి. సో దట్ ఈస్ అవర్ ఎయిమ్, టు లిమిట్ ద స్టార్టింగ్ కరెంట్. దట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ ఫంక్షన్, రైట్? సో టు అవాయిడ్ ద స్పీడ్, that's why, to limit the starting current. Thank you. Right, we'll see the 27th question. A DC series motor drawing an armature current is operating under saturated magnetic conditions. The torque developed in the motor is proportional to. A DC series motor is given. DC series motor drawing armature current under saturated magnetic conditions. The torque developed in the motor is proportional to. In the DC series motor, what is the relation? Torque is directly proportional to flux into torque is equal to Ka into pi into Ia. Is a torque is a equation of DC motor. For DC series motor, okay, under saturated conditions, what happen? This one. So whenever the field current up to this, it is linearly, it can varies. Okay, this is the torque equation, torque and current characteristics. Up to field current, the current varies linearly. Above field current, the current does not varies under saturated condition. So the torque is up to saturation, torque is directly proportional to armature current. Under saturated means above this one. Okay, above this one the flux constant. Means these are total constant. Torque is directly proportional to armature current. Okay, DC series motor drawing armature current under saturated the flux constant means this total is constant. Torque is directly proportional to armature current. Our option is D. Torque is directly proportional to armature current. So in sometimes below saturated the torque is directly proportional to square of the armature current. Because the flux is also varying, so that's why here also the current is there, then torque is directly proportional to square of the armature current. So it is a below saturated condition and this one is a under saturated condition or above condition. These two conditions important for this question, right? Okay, next to go for the 28th question. In DC machines, constant losses is composed of. So what are the constant losses we studied in the DC machines? So the combination of friction loss and windage loss and iron losses and shunt field copper losses. So these are all called constant losses. Variable losses means field losses. Series field copper losses and armature copper losses. Those are variable. But here constant losses means the combination of iron losses and mechanical losses. Mechanical means it is a rotational, so that's why option is A is wrong. Coming to the option B, friction losses is okay, windage losses, iron losses and field circuit losses, it is okay. And we'll see the third option C, iron losses and field circuit losses. It is a series field and remember this, series field circuit losses. It is a wrong option. And D option, friction and windage losses and strain load losses. Okay, the strain load losses is a constant rotational losses. It is also wrong. This one is friction, windage, iron and shunt field copper losses. Okay, the in a DC machines constant losses is composed of friction, windage, iron loss and field circuit loss. And go to the next question, 29. A 250 volts DC generator is run at a speed with no excitation. The open circuit voltage will be. the open circuit voltage will be. For DC generator, no excitation means field current equal to 0. Simply, if we know that relation, flux directly proportional to field current. If field current 0 means no flux in the DC generator, only it is having residual flux. So due to the residual flux, residual voltage will be produced. Residual voltage, the residual flux is what? 1 to 10% means residual voltage is 1 to 10 volts can generates in the generator. So check out the answers. So it is a 0 is wrong option, about 2 to 3 volts okay, 100 volts is wrong answer, 250 volts wrong answer. Due to the residual flux, voltage is 2 to 3 volts, above 2 to 3 volts present in due to the residual flux. And last question, 30th question. A DC shunt motor is given, has external resistance RA and RF in the armature and field circuits respectively. Right? So here armature current at starting can be reduced by keeping. So this question is related to the starter. Why the starter means to reduce the starting current means we can add the armature resistance. We can add the armature resistance. So armature resistance is a maximum. External resistance in armature circuit ki add cheyali kabatti armature resistance anadi maximum untundi and field resistance will be going to reduce at the time of starting resistance. So that's why you can check out the answers. Field resistance maximum and armature resistance is minimum, wrong answer. And go to the armature resistance is only the maximum means these two are only right answers. A and C is the wrong answers. So RA is maximum, and go to here, RF is minimum. Okay, RF is minimum. This is the maximum answer, na? So the answer is D. This is the wrong answer. Right, thank you. Okay, the next question is 31. The problem is given, the terminal voltage of a DC series generator. So first to draw the DC series generator. Do you know that DC series generator? Right here the armature and field winding is connected in series. So that the terminal voltage of a DC series generator is given. So VT is given 150 volts. Terminal voltage of a DC series generator. When the load current is 5 amperes, load current is 5 amperes means armature current is given 2 amperes. Sorry, 5 amperes. Load current is the 5 amperes. Take the combined resistance of armature and series field as 1 ohm. So it is our DC series generator means here the series field winding resistance and armature winding resistance connected in series means the combination of field resistance and armature resistances are given. RA plus RAC is equal to 1 ohm is given. If the load current is increased to 10 amperes, it is our load current is IA1 and it is increased to 10 amperes. Load current is increased to 10 amperes. For the same generated EMF, the terminal voltage will be, so here the generated EMF will be same. Generated EMF will be same and calculate the terminal voltage. Terminal voltage ni manam calculate cheyali. Kabatti for DC series generator, what is our equation? So negative and positive. So this is our positive and negative terminal. Positive and negative. So this is the IAC. So actually current flowing from here to here. Positive to negative. Right? So we have to write the equations, that is for DC series generator EG is equal to this voltage plus this drop. VG is equal to VT plus IA into RA plus RACE. Okay, here the armature current and field current both are in series. These two are in series. So here the generated EMF is equal to the total voltage, terminal voltage plus this is the drop. Eg is equal to Vt plus Ia into Ra plus Rec. But here the terminal voltage is given 150 volts plus armature current starting 5 amperes is given, and the combination of armature resistance and field winding resistance is 1 ohm. Okay, 1 ohm. So what is our total answer? 155 volts. This is our generated voltage. So for same generated voltage, if the load is increases, calculate the terminal voltage. So calculate the terminal voltage. So now same here for this one, Eg is equal to Vt plus Ia into Ra plus Raca, right? For the same generated voltage 155 volts is equal to, we have to calculate the terminal voltage Vt plus load is increases from here to here, so 10 amperes is increases into the combination of resistance and field winding, armature resistance and field winding resistance is given 1 ohm, and from this you can calculate terminal voltage. Here the terminal voltage is equal to 155 minus 10, so total is the 145 volts. Okay, our answer, check out the answers. A is the 145 volts. This is the answer. Okay, thank you.